Terminator 2, Judgment Day, also referred to as Terminator 2 or T2, is a 1991 American science fiction action film 3CO written, produced and directed by James Cameron. The film stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, and Robert Patrick, with Edward Furlong also in its principal cast as John Connor. It is the sequel to the 1984 film The Terminator, and the second installment in the Terminator franchise. Terminator 2 follows Sarah Connor, Hamilton, and her 10-year-old son John, Furlong, as they are pursued by a new, more advanced Terminator, the liquid metal, shape-shifting T-1000, Patrick, sent back in time to kill John Connor and prevent him from becoming the leader of the human resistance. A second, less advanced Terminator, Schwarzenegger, is also sent back in time to protect John. After a troubled pre-production characterized by legal disputes, Mario Kassar of Carolco Pictures emerged with the franchise's property rights in early 1990. This paved the way for the completion of the screenplay by a Cameron-led production team, and the October 1990 start of a shortened 186-day filming schedule. The production of Terminator 2 required a $102 million budget, making it the most expensive film made up to that point. Much of the film's massive budget was spent on filming and special effects. The film was released on July 3, 1991, in time for the U.S. Independence Day weekend. The film's visual effects saw breakthroughs in computer-generated imagery, including the first use of natural human motion for a computer-generated character, and the first partially computer-generated main character for Terminator 2 was a critical and commercial success and influenced popular culture, especially the use of visual effects in films. 5. It received many accolades, including 4 Academy Awards for Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing, Best Makeup, and Best Visual Effects. 6. The highest-grossing film of 1991 and of Schwarzenegger's career, Terminator 2 has since been ranked by several publications such as the American Film Institute as one of the greatest action films, science fiction films and sequels of all time. In 1995, John Connor is living in Los Angeles with foster parents. His mother Sarah Connor had been preparing him throughout his childhood for his future role as the human resistance leader against Skynet, the artificial intelligence that will be given control of the United States nuclear missiles and initiate a nuclear holocaust called Judgment Day on August 29, 1997, but was arrested and imprisoned at a mental hospital after attempting to bomb a computer factory. Skynet sends a new Terminator, designated as T-1000, back in time to kill John. The T-1000 is an advanced prototype made out of mimetic polyalloy, referred to as liquid metal, that gives it the ability to take on the shape and appearance of almost anything it touches, as well as knives and other stabbing weapons. The T-1000 arrives under a freeway, kills a policeman and assumes his identity. Meanwhile, the future John Connor has sent back a reprogrammed T-800, Model 101, Terminator to protect his young counterpart. The Terminator and the T-1000 converge on John in a shopping mall, and a chase ensues, after which John and the Terminator escape together on a motorcycle. Fearing that the T-1000 will kill Sarah in order to get to him, John orders the Terminator to help free her. They encounter Sarah as she is escaping from the hospital, although she is initially reluctant to trust the T-800. After the trio escapes from the T-1000 in a police car, the Terminator informs John and Sarah about Skynet's history. In addition, it would create machines that will hunt and kill the remnants of humanity, and once Sarah learns that the man most directly responsible for Skynet's creation is Miles Bennett Dyson, a Cyberdyne systems engineer working on a revolutionary new neural net processor that will form the basis for Skynet. Sarah gathers weapons from an old friend and plans to flee with John to Mexico, but after having a nightmare about Judgment Day, she instead sets out to kill Dyson in order to prevent Judgment Day from occurring. Finding him at his home, she wounds him but finds herself unable to kill him in front of his family. John and the Terminator arrive and inform Dyson of the future consequences of his work. They learn that much of his research has been reverse-engineered from the damaged CPU and the right arm of the previous Terminator. Convincing him that these items and his designs must be destroyed, they break into the Cyberdyne building and retrieve the CPU and the arm. The police arrive and Dyson is shot, but he manages to trigger several explosives, destroying the lab and his research while sacrificing himself. The T-1000 relentlessly pursues the surviving trio, eventually cornering them in a steel mill. The T-1000 and the Terminator engage in physical combat, with the advanced model severely damaging its adversary. The T-800 is seemingly shut down until its emergency backup system brings it back online. The T-1000 nearly kills John and Sarah until the T-800 appears and shoots it into a vat of molten steel with an M79 grenade launcher, destroying it. John tosses the ARM and CPU of the original Terminator into the vat as well. As Sarah expresses relief that the ordeal is over, the Terminator explains that to ensure that he is not used for reverse engineering he must also be destroyed. It asks Sarah to assist in lowering it into the vat of molten steel, since it is unable to self-terminate, although John begs the Terminator to reconsider his decision. It bids them farewell as it is lowered into the vat. The Terminator gives a tearful John a final thumbs up as it disappears into the molten steel and shuts down. Sarah looks to the future with hope, musing that if a machine can learn the value of human life, maybe we can too.